What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with a quick video on something which has players curious about Season of Plunder. And spoiler alerts are naturally necessary here, but it looks like we're set to see a new community event as part of the Season 18 story. This video won't be filled with story details or speculation about the story specifically, but we're going to talk about some of the new threads which are visible, including a new mission objective, some specific triumphs and rewards associated with the event, plus some cosmetic drops from the season which are linked to it. So as always, I hope you guys enjoy this one, and if you do, a rating below really helps us out, but otherwise, let's get into it. And initially, once again, this video contains some spoilers, although some of the hints about this event are super obvious, and for triumphs this season, looking at like GG or any of the other major database sites, there is a triumph tab called Community Event. And two of the triumphs inside the tab are classified, but the other one references investigating Eliksni quarter improvements. And there are 7 specific improvements to investigate for the triumph. So it looks like we'll be assisting the Fallen in building up the Eliksni quarter or expanding on it, and that feels kind of reminiscent of something like the Empyrean Foundation event from a couple of years back, where broadly the community effort is tied into the narrative of the season. And I think as well it seems fairly obvious that this is going to be part of a big story push for Season 18 when it drops. And then looking at DestinySets.com, the event also seems to have a mode or activity baked into it, which is called a Rising Tide. And there's an objective here that counts the total number of Captain's coins donated to the Eliksni quarter during a Rising Tide in Season of Plunder. Additionally, there is an exotic ghost shell for the season called the Swashbuckler Shell, and the source listed in the database is a Rising Tide mission. So it suggests that this is a standalone activity of some kind, but we can only speculate. And obviously one of the main objectives for this event will be collecting the Captain's coins referenced in that first objective. And Sora Park on Twitter did post some additional objectives for the event, including collecting Captain's coins from Catch Crash and expedition activities, destination chests, lost sectors, public events, Dares of Eternity, and the King's Fall raid. So the coins are going to be earned through various activities, and obviously depositing them over the course of the event will build reputation and afford the Eliksni the upgrades that they have planned for their zone in their last city. And of course, in addition to that, it'll be interesting to see what the Rising Tide mission means, whether that's a standalone activity or more of a description of the event and what's taking place overall in the story. But if it is to be something unique, let us know what kind of activity you guys would like to see down in the comments. Other objectives for the event include acquiring each of the personal rewards during the Season 18 community event, and so it looks like there could be a specific vendor or interface associated with it. Interestingly, on Light GG there are some dummy items which look both like vendor icons and nodes or upgrades, so it's quite possible that these are associated with the event, again possibly suggesting that we'll interface with something, either a character or a bounty board type system in order to track possible rewards, make donations and things like that. However, in terms of the rewards, we know very little about what else could potentially drop. Outside of the ghost shell we mentioned, there is an exotic ship called Generation's Shadow, and that's tied behind a triumph that isn't yet available, so it's a possibility that that one will be part of the event as well. But otherwise, we don't have any specific detail, so I think it's probably worth keeping expectations low on the rewards front, as this is probably a major story component for Plunder, so naturally it will serve multiple purposes. And of course, it would be epic if this became an exotic quest or had other unique weapons or items linked to it, but I think it's better not to expect that because it isn't necessarily likely to happen. And the only other kind of minor bit of speculation linked to this that we can discuss at the moment is the possibility that this event will be an end of season thing. Story-wise, one thing I'd expect to happen before this can take place is that we'll need to collect all of the relics and place them in the helm. Of course, we've been doing that as part of the weekly story this season. And the last relic that we can see in weekly challenges at least is the 8th relic, and we'll be able to place that on October 11th. So I certainly wouldn't expect to see this before then. And of course, following that, Festival of the Lost is due to begin on October 18th, so it's fairly unlikely that Bungie will run the community event immediately before or during Festival of the Lost. But that's just my guess, so I would assume at the moment that this is most likely to drop in the final few weeks of Season 18 at some point. But again, that's just my speculation, and we don't have any official info outside of what's visible in the database, so feel free to let us know what you think down below. And personally, for this season, I think it could be a pretty interesting element. I'd say in a few ways, the story is one of the strong points again this season. However, of course, it would be really nice if this did turn into something a little bit more expansive in terms of gameplay and rewards. We'll just have to wait and see. Share any thoughts you have on possibilities for this event down in the comment section, but if you guys have enjoyed the video today, be sure to get subscribed if you are new to the channel, and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. You can also turn on notifications by hitting the bell icon down below. And once more, if you enjoyed the video, a like rating also really helps us out. But otherwise guys, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have an awesome day.